tell me more about Queen of Zamunda. Yeah.
The original Queen of Zamunda is, it is my name on all my social media platforms.
Okay.
Why? When I was younger, you know, when you're in Uganda, you're dreaming, you know, you dream and, you know, and there was this film called Coming to America.
Oh, yes, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
And the kingdom in that film was referred to as Zamunda.
Oh.
So when I came to Canada and I said, I know I'm Canadian and I'm in Canada, but I come from that place. I come from Uganda, and Zamunda is like perfect. And you know, let's talk about Wakanda.
Yes,
in the recent film, The Black Panther. So everything made sense for me, but it's more like I'm very proud of where I come from, and saying that I'm the original Queen of Zamunda tells me not to forget about that little girl who was dreaming then and is able to share these dreams today with everybody that I get to connect with. So I'm the original Queen of Zamunda, and nobody should get that wrong. Absolutely not.
Wow, that is nice to hear. That is so nice to hear. So tell us more about yourself and your music ministry. How is it, and how are you going to roll it out to the community so that they can know more about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am in the music industry, I'm in the acting industry. I've been blessed with quite a few talents, if you ask me. You know, I host events, I do event programming. You know, if you want to run a fundraiser, I'm the kind of person you come and tell me what you need for your event, and I make sure your event goes as planned. You know, I'm into PR and management. PR and management means that I deal with the media. You know, I prepare people the way I will teach the interview as well. You know, I teach people, how do you, when a microphone is put before you, how do you express yourself?
Okay.
Or preparing a statement. You know, some of these artists, they can't just speak whatever comes to their mind. You have to prepare them. So that's what my PR is for. Okay. I do TV, film, and theater, which means I get to act, I get to sing. I do the things that make me happy, to be honest, and I think that's what talent is all about, you know. Yeah. In speaking a local language, being a part and proud of what you actually get to do. Yeah. So it doesn't just become a job, it is who you are. So you're actually experiencing, and you get to share that with everybody else. So I just released an album called Nankunda, which is also my last name. And because I said, what is the best way to debut an album? With my name. People get to know what Nankunda is and what Nankunda is and what it means. And Nankunda means someone loves me. Wow. And the basis of that is the Lord loves me. I always tell people, if it wasn't for His grace, we probably would never have met. So Nankunda is out on all streaming services, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play for those with Androids, and you know, it's a variety of music. There is a song for everybody. I believe that. It's 8 songs, and some are in my local language, folk. That's why I do folk, because I grew up singing this music back home, even before I knew what a drum looked like. Or if you remember, I don't know if you had the experience, in the village, in the evening, we would sit with our cousins on a fire and get drums, but we would use jerrycans, plastics, to actually make sound. So that was very, I'm bringing it to today, because we can't just say, oh, that was then. It is, how do we make the then present? How do we teach our children who are born in Canada about Runyankore? You know, how do we teach them Ruhanga Kontorana? That is my first song on that's my second song on the album. Ruhanga Kontorana is a hymn that is sung in the villages. In every church you go to, they will know Ruhanga Akantorana. Why? The Lord chose me. The Lord chose me. I'm here by His grace, and I don't forget that. So I try to put in music, and also to relate to our grandmothers. I hope that, or I prayed that if my grandmother was alive today, she would see me on YouTube and say, that's my daughter, but you know, rest her soul in peace. But that's very important for me. So I'm not just current, but I'm also paying an homage to where I have been.
Wow, wow, this is so encouraging, and I'm moved by what you do. How I wish each and everybody could have such a perception of life. You know, it keeps you in the past at the same time in the future.
We celebrate the past,
even like the past, the present, and the future. Where we're going, because at some point in time we're going to have our kids here, and they will never have a chance of going to Uganda.
But at least,
but when we have such things with the diversity that we have through the entertainment, through the music ministry that you're doing, this is gonna bring it's gonna bring most of the community people and the kids from different communities together.
I hope so. I really hope so. And also not to just I'm not just doing it for the Ugandan community
Yeah.
and for our children, but also to teach people where we come from, to teach different communities. You know, I always work well with the Ghanaians and the Nigerians. I am proud to stand on that stage and I say I come from Uganda. And in Uganda we say Oriotia. You know, it's those small things we say whereby. I am so proud of that because we are in Toronto, we're in Canada, which is the melting pot, if you ask me. It is the global city center of the world. You're going to find every single person in Toronto. So why not? I am not taking away, I'm simply sharing who I am and where I come from. You're free to partake. You're free to partake and to ask questions when.
Yeah. I don't want to repeat
Yeah.
about the Nakunda album, but still you can throw more lights about the Nakunda album. Which people are you targeting? Which people do you want this message to go to so that people can relate to you more, so that people can know who is this Nakunda? Like, apart from the Nakunda that we knew before, now this is a new Nakunda that has rejuvenated into something that the globe has been waiting for. Yeah.
So Nakunda is for, I love to connect with people first and foremost. For me, if I can connect with as many people as possible every single day, that would be, I just love to talk to people, different people, and I take pride in that, the ability to say, hello, how are you, my name is so and so. So with the music, I figured I could reach a larger volume, a larger audience, and the music, the new music on here is actually written by myself. So these are my life experiences. As an artist, you cannot share what you don't have. Or I think anybody out there, my belief is that you can't give what you don't have.
Sure.
So what am I going to share? But I'm going to share my life experiences. For example, every song on there's a reason as to why I wrote it. And if I'm going through it, I'm sure there is somebody out there going through it. So I'm trying to say you're not alone. I'm trying to say I hear you. I'm trying to say I'm here for you. And I'm doing that through the music. You know, there is a song called I Miss You, which is a song I wrote as an homage to my father. My father passed away 25 years ago. And I didn't grieve. I was angry. You know, you left me when I was so young. You as a child, when you lose a parent at a young age, you always wonder what it would be like at 10 years. You know, if I was 15, how would that have been? How would he have treated me? You know, I wonder what my teenage years were going to be. I was the only daughter then. So, but this song, when I wrote this song, I was at the office one day and something just came over me and I just started weeping. Literally weeping. And I told my workmates, to say, don't worry, I'm just having a moment. I wrote down everything I was feeling in that moment. And I went to studio that evening and I did the song called I Miss You. And it's celebrating my father, and I finally made peace. Because loss is loss and we grieve differently. There is no point of, you're gonna get over it,
No.
You don't get over loss. So, and there is no greater loss. Your loss, you can't say, oh, you lost an uncle, but I lost a father, so mine is greater. Loss is loss. So I hope that when someone listens to I Miss You, they're going to resonate with their own loss. They're going to make peace. They're going to, you find a way to live with it, but peacefully. So I hope that's what I Miss You does. And it's also for closure. When I wrote those songs down, it's like I had closure, I made peace with my father, and I said, rest in peace, rest well. But for once, I wrote that last year, so 24 years. So it took me 24 years to grieve. And until I wrote that song, that's when the peace came. So I hope that whoever listens to that, and so as the other songs, find pieces of yourself in the music. Allow yourself to feel. We are so scared of feeling, we are so scared of whatever it is. Even to be happy, you might say, oh, but I might be too excited. Be overexcited, but own it. Because it's a momentary feeling. But you give it the honor that in that moment, that's what you're feeling. So I hope that whoever listens to Nakunda, to any song on Nakunda, will find pieces of themselves in there, and also take a part of me that is going to help them make them better people.
Wow. At this moment, I would lie to you, the peace they've talked about is just resting upon me.
I'm so honored.
I am blessed.
Oh,
completely blessed. I know the people who are going to listen to this music, them too are going to resonate to what you have put out in your music, and they also they'll have the peace that surpasses all human understanding.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing that I pray for anybody to have, because nothing will ever put you down, nothing will ever, you not worry about anything. Fear will be taken away, because inside you are peaceful. Thank you so very much for that.
Thank you very much. I thank you for the
so
opportunity.
grateful. I'm so grateful and
Yeah.
grateful for this wonderful interview. I personally have been moved, but still, I still have some more things I need to ask you, because this engagement is not only, I thought it could take only 3 minutes, but the more I interview you, I'm going deeper and deeper, and it's affecting me personally, positively, you know. And I know the people who are watching it over there too will be impacted positively. So now that we have had that one album, Nakunda, where do we see yourself in the next 5 years? Because what you have so far given out in this first album, to me, it has really impacted me. And I know there is still more impact that you're going to put out in the community through your music ministry. So how do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I for sure won't be in this alone, and I hope not to be alone. Why do I say this? I'm proud to be Ugandan. So I want to involve my community. That is why I have a dance troupe. It's called a Manzi Troupe. And we're going to explore different Ugandan dances. We're going to share this with other communities out there when we perform at the different events, different engagements, different parties, anything, festivals, you name it. That is celebrating truly Ugandan culture, because you know that for every event, even when we celebrate tweens, there is something when we celebrate tweens. When we have harvest, there is a song, there is a dance, courtship. So we're going to share that through the dance troupe Emanzi, which actually means bravery. And I chose Emanzi troupe. Why? It's not easy to leave Uganda and come here. I don't know if people know that. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of, you have to be brave to do that.
Everything.
You know, I always have this image of parents who leave their children at 1 year old, 1 month, and they have to come here and make a living for them to be able to bring them here for a better future. And not only that, it takes courage and bravery for Canada to allow us in this country. So that's what Emanzi is all about. That is the story behind it, and it will be a dance trip. So there is that. And then I'll be running workshops, you know, to encourage our children to participate in the arts. We all can't just be lawyers and let's say other professionals or blue-collar jobs. We all can't be doctors. We all can't be nurses. But our children need someone to show them to do that. I'm gifted and have been blessed to be the ability to be in studio, to work with, I do narrations, I do voice work, documentaries. So I'm going to introduce that in a workshop this coming June actually. I'm going to introduce, you know, how to empower these children in terms of, you know, fashion. You know, it's not easy to model. People think you just look good at, no, it is the training. How do you see yourself? I always tell people, look at that person you see of yourself and walk towards her. That is my training. I look at that person on the stage. When people see me on stage, who do I want them to see? I become that person. Because unless you believe that, they will not be able to see it. And you can't tell me what you're not. Yeah. It can't just be about words. You have to show people. Because then you have nothing to defend. Sure. It is right there. Yeah. So I'm not just I'm looking at, you know, my community being a part of every little thing that I do, because together we soar. That's what Gisha Production is about. Okay. Together we soar. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for those remarks again.
Yeah.
But still, about this album, it has already touched the globe.
Yes.
It has influenced quite a lot of people. I've seen you in different radio stations. I've seen you in different shows. And what inspiration and motivation do you get out of that? With all this that is going on from this first album that you've made. Yeah.
It is very humbling, first and foremost, because it's my first, and people don't know it takes so much to make an album. The journey. And not just the journey, the personal, the ability to allow myself to be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
We're talking about real life experiences. Where I'm not sharing a song because I'm a believer that everybody can sing. But what does it take to actually sit down and put it on record? You know, when the album came out, I was in Calgary, and oh my God, I can't tell you the feeling. I was like, oh my God, I'm so naked. I'm so naked, but that's it. Like, that, you can only see me for who I truly am. I can't give you a certain version that I think. No, that was true. That is truly me. That is who I am, and that is my work. And you know, there was something naked about that, but it was also very empowering because not everybody's doing that. And not everybody can do that. And I got in touch with who I am, with my feelings, and how did I get to be here? The experiences that I've been through that have molded me into the person that I am today. and I had to face all of that. And it was quite overwhelming. And then the response, it's not easy for people to say, "Oh my God, this is so good." I had to get used to that, and then I had to let go of the cynicism. Are they saying it because the usual? I had to let go of that worldly thinking and I had to decide. No. I'm here to serve.
Yeah.
My job is to serve. My job is to create. Whether you like what I create has nothing to do with the job. It is a calling. My job is to obey the calling of the Lord.
The Lord, yeah.
Whatever He's going to do with that, I have no clue. But if I don't sing, then I have disobeyed, and I can't sleep for those. It's not funny when there is something brewing inside.
You have to let it out.
You have to let it out, and I'm glad that I have an outlet, which is the music, which is the acting, it's all of that. Every time I'm on a red carpet, I can't tell you the feeling. It's so high that it's humbling.
Humbling. Wow.
It is so high that it's humbling, and I think that's the greatest. That's the greatest joy or the greatest achievement I've had with Nankunda so far.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. It's very humbling, and there's no greater gift than that.
How I wish each and everybody could walk in their calling. The gratification that is derived from one walking in his own calling, it surpasses each and every achievement anybody can ever have.
There is no any amount of money that you can equate to that. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But that you cannot. There's no amount of money. $1 billion is nothing compared to that feeling. There's no words, to be honest. But that's what it is, because you're so high that your feet are off the ground. You really feel it's my grounding point. It's funny that's the same place I'm grounded.
Wow, this is so nice, yeah? How I wish you can continue with this interview like forever.
Next time.
But anyway, we have come to the close of our interview with our own Queen of Zamunda. But anyway, I introduced her as Queen of Zamunda, but she has her name, and she's going to give us her name and give us more details about her and how we can reach her, because she's all here for us, and she's all here to do what she got to do, because she has a calling. She's moving into her calling. So as we conclude with our interview, please give us more, give us your names and everything that we.
My name is Gloria Gift Nankunda. I am the founder and artist at Gisha Productions, which is a business entity specializing in television, in film, in theater, in PR, management, and events. What that means is that I manage other artists, so it's not just for me. My job is to create a stage and share it with other artists. Wow. That's why the tagline, my company tagline, is "Together we soar." Wow. Together.
Together.
When I tell people, I bring you on, but you have to put in the work. I'm not going to baby you. There's no way of doing this. Hard work pays, literally. And you also have to nurture the talent. When you respect the talent, then the talent serves you. So when I say there is a rehearsal, there is a rehearsal. It's not that I don't think you don't know. But you have to respect and honor the talent. And I encourage people, work on it. I always give an example. In the Bible, before Jesus made wine, he asked them for water. So when you're coming to, where's your water?
What is that?
What do you have that we can exactly? What do you have? If you know how to do to drum a mbutu for a magunju, that is your water. But at least you have brought. That's it.
Use that.
Don't look outside. Trying to no. Use literally what you have. Don't try, because that's where the Lord will add on. That you have to bring Him something. It's not going to come from outside. So I encourage people, start with as little as you have. Use the people around you. It's not about, we always go for money first. Money will come. It will come in loads and you won't even believe it. But first, honor where you are right now. Put in the work, and the Lord, when the time is right, the Lord shall make everything happen. Isaiah 60:22. I live on a few principles when I'm doing my meetings. Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I live by Psalms 19:14. May the meditations of my heart and the words of my mouth be in accordance with thy will, my Redeemer, my impenetrable rock. I live by Psalms 37:23. May the Lord find me righteous enough to order my footsteps. So, because the Lord orders the footsteps of a righteous man.